I'd like to start this speech out with a question. I'd like to ask everybody if you are in touch with your heritage or if you are in touch with where you come from. That's something that I've had a problem with growing up. Um, I'm Mexican and Filipino, but I've never really grew up around my Filipino side or ever been to the Philippines. It's always something that I've wanted to cross off my bucket list, but just haven't gotten around to it. So I like this assignment because it allows me to kind of dig deeper into things that I may have not known about the Philippines. So this is going to be pretty helpful. One of the main things that I've started doing my research on is the establishment of the Philippines, kind of when people first encountered the Filipinos. It was, I believe, 1521. They were discovered by Europeans and the Spanish. They were roaming around, searching, exploring, and then they came over to the Philippines and colonized. It's one huge staple in the Filipino culture is the Spanish influence. If you listen to a lot of Filipinos speak, there's a lot of similar words that are the same thing in Spanish. It's very weird. But it's something that I've learned growing up because whenever my grandma would answer the phone, she'd answer the same way that my Hispanic grandma would answer the phone. So it's pretty interesting. Americans established in the Philippines in 1898 during the Spanish-American War, where they had built marine bases for protection, and then not only that, for its location as well. So if they needed to send troops anywhere on the Western Hemisphere, or sorry, Eastern Hemisphere, they could, and it would, be a lot easier. When they did that, that allowed my family to kind of blossom, where my grandmother met my grandfather. They fell in love, and then soon after that, my grandmother moved over to the United States. One big thing that is huge in the Philippines is their tourism. Tourism is actually one of their biggest economical resources when it comes to everything over there. Cities and villages, they feast off of tourism because of their beaches, their white sand beaches. They have crystal clear waters. It's amazing. They have waterfalls, they have jungles. There's all types of landscapes over there in the Philippines. And that's one thing that's actually big. When you go over to the Philippines, one of the main things you're going to do probably is going to go to the beach and enjoy yourself a little bit. There are 7,600 plus islands over there in the Philippines, and of those 7,000, about 2,000 are inhabited. That just means there's another 5,000 islands that haven't been, explored. There's so many different beautiful things that you could find out there. Honestly, it's something that I really want to cross off my bucket list. Of these 2,000 habited islands, there's so many different cultures across them. Each island might have a different dialect with their language, and all these different territories and regions, they all are completely different. My grandmother has told me stories about how she will meet people out here in America at the Filipino American Society, and she will talk to people, and they come from a completely different island, territory, village. And when they talk, she couldn't understand them because their dialect was completely different from what she was used to. And that's one thing that's honestly really beautiful to me, is because everyone's different over there. But their main thing is just being loving, hospitable. Growing up, I remember going to these parties for the Filipino American Society, and these are people I've never even met before. But they would treat me just like I was like their grandson. It was amazing. Um, so if you ever get a chance to ever just, go to a Filipino party or even get a trip to the Philippines, I say take it, honestly, because it's beautiful. If you're scrolling through TikTok, hopefully next time you're scrolling through TikTok, now that you're watching this video, it pops up on your algorithm or something. Maybe you'll see a video on tourism or something in the Philippines, and you're gonna remember that I had this speech, and hopefully it'll spark your interest and make you want to explore a little bit of my Filipino heritage and my Filipino culture. Thank you.